All right, good morning. Here's our second video. This is a little bit more of an more intense problem here. We have a figure. We have two different triangles, two different right triangles. Our first right triangle, here's our right angle. We have 13 millimeters. We have 5 millimeters. We don't know the side of this triangle. And then over here we have x across from our right angle, 35 millimeters. And then we still don't know that side. We need to find x. So our directions here, we find x. Now we can't just go ahead and find x right away. We need to use the information on the smaller triangle on the left-hand side over here, okay, to find, let's call this y. We need to find y before we can go ahead and find x. Let's see if I have a different color. X, well, Franklin's been taking all of them, so y. We need to find y first. Then we can find our other triangle. So here we need to identify what's the hypotenuse on the smaller triangle. Across from the right angle is our hypotenuse, and that's 13 millimeters. Our legs are 5 millimeters, and y, we know that in the Pythagorean Theorem, we have a squared plus b squared equals c squared. That's the formula we're going to go ahead and use. So here we know that we have 5 squared plus y squared equals 13 squared. And that's for our first triangle. So we're going to go ahead and solve for y. We get 25 plus y squared equals 169. We subtract 25 on both sides. And we get y squared equals 144. We're going to go ahead and square root both sides. The square root of y squared is equal to the square root of 144. And we get y is equal to plus or minus 12. However, we know that this is a geometric figure, so our distance is going to be positive. So y is going to equal 12. So we know what y is. Y is 12. I can come up here and say, not y anymore. Now we know this is 12 millimeters. Okay. All right. So now that we have y, we can go ahead and find x. X is the hypotenuse because it is directly across from the right angle. Our two legs are 12 and 35 for this larger triangle. So we have 12 squared plus 35 squared equals, and we can write c squared or we can write x squared because it is x in our equation. I'm going to go ahead and multiply this out. 12 squared is 144 plus 35 squared. I don't know what 35 squared is. So I'm going to do one of two things. I'm going to go multiply 35 times 35 off to the side. You can do that. In this unit, because we're using square roots, we need to go ahead and we can use our calculator. So what I did is off to the side, my calculator. Let's do 35. 35 times 35 is going to be 1,225 equals x squared. Okay. So now that's just going to go ahead and assist me. I can use that calculator for these calculations. Go ahead and add these two together, and I get 1,369 equals x squared. We're in a spot where, hey, I have a variable squared equaling the number. I square root both sides. Square root 1,369 equals the square root of x squared. We get x is equal to, again, use your calculator. We get plus or minus 37. Okay. At this point, we know that because it's a geometric figure, we're going to have 37 millimeters. All right. So now in here, we had to use some mental processing. What can we use? How can we use the Pythagorean Theorem to solve for that missing side? We couldn't use that first triangle right away, the larger triangle. We'd use a smaller triangle to find the height. Then once we had that, we can go through it and solve the rest. Have a good day, guys.